hanging in studio, and I'm lucky because this guy, I tell people like we're friends, but then people are like, oh, hey, Terry, no big D. He's like, come again? I'm kidding. The legendary, and I would say as you move into your eighth year,
yes.
I would say that's legendary status. 8 years, I think, is legendary, right?
Amazing. I can't believe that it's been 8 years.
It's unreal. Terry Fator, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
You are constantly, listen, a lot of people will have a show on the Strip. I'm going to use Britney Spears as an example. You guys basically have the same wardrobe anyway.
You talking about me or Elton John?
No, you. Come on. But you make a point to really, the show is different. Mm-hmm. And it's something that we've talked about before. Changing the show is almost a pride thing. You want people to come back. It's not like, oh yeah, I saw Terry Fator once and that was good enough.
Exactly. And that's really why I do it, because well, first of all, it keeps the show fresh for myself. You know, I never want to phone the show in. I don't ever want to get up and just not care and be able to fall asleep in the show. I want to make sure that it's always I'm always on my toes and giving my 100% to whatever audience is there. Secondly, it keeps it fun for the audiences. I've had people see me 13 times and say they've never seen the same exact show twice. So that's pretty amazing.
And I think I'm 4 deep now. One being the holiday show, which, by the way, before we talk about the newest entrant to the Terry Fator line of performers, is your wife still a part of the show? Because, I mean, she was a part of the holiday show.
She's part of the holiday show. She's not a part of the regular show, but she. I think that would be just too much pressure on her to be on every single night.
she just looked at you like, try me, Terry, try me. I'm kidding.
But I think she really enjoys doing the holiday show with me, and you know, the way I always present it to her is I say, look, you don't have to, but if you'd like to be in the holiday show again this year, you can. And she, so far, 2 years in a row, she said yes, so we'll see.
Well, she killed it. You did very well.
Yes, she did.
The only disappointment as a fan watching, she kept talking about going to make cookies, and I sat there hungry as hell, and these damn cookies never showed up. So, if we could do something about it.
Yes, we need to have the Mirage provide cookies.
Why not? On the way out.
Notice how I said the Mirage provide cookies.
Oh, absolutely.
Not me, right?
Come on now. So, one of the main reasons you're here, not only to celebrate going into your 8th year on the Las Vegas Strip at the gorgeous Mirage, you every year add a new character.
I do, yes.
And I gotta ask how you got to adding him after we introduce Sir Elton John.
That's right,
here as well.
Sir Elton John. It's a singular honor, Big D. So nice to meet you. So anyway, the way I decided this, really it's because I'm getting a lot of attention from overseas. I've been asked to perform in Japan and China,
oh, wow.
and you know, in Europe and a lot of non-English speaking countries. And I'm thinking, okay, so how's this going to work? You know, I don't speak any other languages, and I thought, well, what if I start actually introducing real life characters? That way, you know, when I pull Sir Elton John out over at, oh, that sounded dirty. No, it's not. What? Okay, anyway. And I want you to do it. I'll stop it. Okay, so anyway, so when I pull Elton John out on stage in Japan, they're going to know who he is, and he's going to start singing, and they'll know the songs because music is the universal language, and the greats are the greats no matter where you go in the world. So,
when you are introducing somebody new, mm-hmm. is it tough to master? Because it's not, and this is something we were talking about before you got in. You do the ventriloquism, right? Mm-hmm. You can kill their voice, you know what I mean? Like, you don't just do the show, like, it's almost like you're looking at them. But then you sound like them when you sing.
Yeah,
is that, like, how hard is that? And did that come into your thought process when Elton became part of the show?
Absolutely it did. And you know, I looked at my show and I said, we don't have any Elton John, and he's a bigger than life character. Obviously, you see the outfit, and you know, I guess on online, if folks are watching
For
online,
sure.
they can see the outfit, or come and see my show. That'd be fine. But you know, so when you see this outfit, you'll know exactly who it is, and creating characters and the voices usually comes pretty quick for me. It took a lot of years to learn how to do it. But you know, it's just like anything else. It's like when you work in a factory. You know, if you're screwing bottle tops onto a bottle, when you first start, you're going to be you know, like Lucille Ball, and you know, sticking them in your mouth. You know, oh, that sounded dirty.
Or Laverne and
Stop
Shirley.
it. Stop, you know, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, so no, you're going to be like, you know, like the chocolates. But once you kind of get used to it, and you've been doing it every day for years and years and years, it becomes natural. So that's kind of where I am in my career. Is it just comes pretty naturally.
Did Elton, how do I say this without it sounding, did Elton just pop into your head, or
That
did you
sounded dirty too.
or did you have like a March Madness type of bracket? Like, okay, here's who I would like. Which one makes the most
actually,
sense?
it did just pop into my head. I was kind of thinking, bigger than life, something amazing, something funny, something that everybody would enjoy, and music styles that I didn't have in the show. And the first name that came to mind was Elton John. But eventually, I'd like to get a Michael Jackson puppet and a Prince puppet, and some of these. Yeah, and I think that it would be amazing to do like an entire segment of the show, maybe a 10 or 15-minute segment where I just pull out one character after another and do some of their best songs. And I think my audiences would really like that.
So, going into the 9th year, we know what he's adding to the show. Spoiler alert. You're celebrating your anniversary coming up this Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And another cool thing that you are big on is not only making the people that have served the country and served the community every day, making them known, giving
mm-hmm.
them the attention they deserve in the show, but something very unique, and it's something that anytime I've brought somebody to the show that's in town, I'm like, wait until he tells you about the stuff out in the lobby that they sell. Whether it's, the stuffed characters from the show, the CDs, the DVDs. What brought you to, because it goes to the Wounded Warrior Project.
It does, yes.
Like every cent. It's not like we split it in half. No, everything goes.
Everything. It's not the Wounded Warrior Project, but we do work with injured soldiers with the Air Para Foundation, who works with injured soldiers. We also work with Snowball Express, who works with the children of those who have been killed since 9/11. So, it's just really important to me. I'm one of these people that is very much a proponent of us, we the people, taking things on, and it's great. We want the government to make sure and take care of them, but the government's only going to do so much, so we have to take that, the bull by the horns and make sure that our veterans never feel left out and never feel neglected. And I love the fact that I can do this with my audiences. I feel like there's a very symbiotic relationship between myself and my audience, because they voted me the best act on America's Got Talent. They helped me get to Las Vegas. So therefore, my audiences and myself, we get to work together to help the military. They purchase the items, and we donate all the money to the military. It's incredible.
And that's the thing. Like, it blows me away when you just said, like, you get requests to, like, perform in Japan and stuff. Like, you grew up in well, I don't say small town, but you grew up in a town the same as I did, the same as everybody in the room did. But then you turn that into having a special skill and talent, to winning nationally recognized talent competition, to a spot on the Las Vegas Strip. Now people want you to perform on the other side of the world, where I'm going to be honest, at the age I'm at, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to the places you mentioned, but, like, does that just blow you away?
It does. It blows my mind. This morning we were doing an interview, and Cindy Williams from Laverne and Shirley was at the interview. She's promoting Menopause the Musical.
That is so funny.
And we're sitting there, and I'm sitting there looking, I'm going, Cindy Williams, Laverne, it's just Shirley here. I can't believe this. And she looks at me and she says, oh my gosh, I was sitting with Fred Willard when we saw you come on America's Got Talent, and we said, that guy's going to win. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. Shirley and Fred Willard are watching me. It still just boggles my mind. It really does.
And this is a question that I've always wanted to ask you too, is there anybody that's come to a show or that you've seen in an event that asked to take a picture with you, and you're like, no, can I have a picture with you?
Yeah.
Like celebrity?
Well, I think the craziest one was Conan O'Brien. And I kind of walked up to him, and I do have a lot of them. Weird Al Yankovic said, oh my gosh, can I take a picture with you? And I was in line for the meet and greet for him. And he said, do you mind if I use my phone? And I'm like, yeah? So I walk up to Conan O'Brien, and I said, hi, Conan, I'm Terry Fator. And he goes, I know who you are. Your face is all over town. And I told my wife, I said, holy cow, this is so weird. I'm just not used to this, but it's still fun,
That's so insane. Elton John now a part of the show. Was Elton a part of this week's shows, or is he debuting Monday?
He's actually debuting tonight. We have a new show. We want to have a couple of shows in because the 8th anniversary is coming this Monday, and so we're going to be doing the show Thursday and Saturday to kind of tweak it and make sure it's ready, because we got a lot of press coming on Monday, and so tonight will be his debut on on the show. So I hope people come out and see the show.
Do you have a connection to Elton, or do anybody in your crew have a connection to Elton? Like, does he know that he's a part of your show now?
I hope so, and I did get to meet him. I went and saw him and met him, and he actually told me that he had heard that I had the best show on the Strip, and he really wanted to come see it. Well, maybe now that he knows he'll be able to see his 70s version of 70s version of himself, maybe he'll come out and see him.
Well, this is the unofficial. You're invited to be my +1, Elton, on Monday.
Yes, exactly.
Elton John is going to steal the show. Terry Fator, the Mirage, the Terry Fator Theater inside the Mirage. That's the other thing. Is like, go see Terry Fator inside the Terry Fator Theater. How long before they just rename the Mirage the Terry Fator Hotel and Casino?
That would be interesting.
That's in the next deal.
I just think it's going to be, I hope it happens one day, but maybe one day they'll actually name a street after me, and it'll be like, then I think when that happens, I'm actually going to sit there and go, okay, yeah, I feel like a Las Vegas headliner. You know, that's nuts.
Well, and at this point, the Mirage cut back on like the fire coming out. I mean, is there any reason we can't have your characters floating in the water at some point?
I hope not face down.
No. Terry Fator, I got more info on my page. Grab tickets to his show. And congratulations on 8 years, sir.
Thank you so much, Big D.